Imagine building the most advanced car America had ever seen, only to watch your factory close before your company could prove it worked. Imagine creating the world's greatest luxury automobile just months before the economy collapsed. Imagine inventing the SUV decades before anyone wanted one. Or building muscle cars so legendary that 50 years later they're worth millions, while the company that built them no longer exists. The automotive industry loves to celebrate its winners: Ford, Chevrolet, Cadillac. But history has a habit of forgetting the companies that changed the industry and still disappeared. Today we're starting with the first of several forgotten American car brands that should still exist. Some were destroyed by terrible timing. Some by corporate greed. Some by impossible economics. And one may have been too far ahead of its time for Detroit to accept. By the end of this video, you'll probably wonder how this company ever disappeared at all. At the beginning of the 20th century, America wasn't home to 3 car companies. It was home to hundreds. By some estimates, more than 1,800 automobile manufacturers appeared in the United States between the late 1800s and today. Most deserve to disappear. Some built unreliable cars. Some made terrible business decisions. Others simply ran out of money. That's capitalism. But every now and then, a company builds something extraordinary and still loses. Not because the cars were bad. Not because customers hated them. But because history had other plans. This company wasn't just a victim of bad luck. It changed the automobile forever. Most people just don't realize it. Before we get to the company whose revolutionary car ended up in an SEC courtroom, we have to start with a brand that built what many historians still consider the greatest American luxury car ever made. If you wanted the finest automobile on earth in 1929, money wasn't enough. You needed a Duesenberg. This wasn't just another luxury car. It was the automotive equivalent of wearing a custom-made suit while everyone else was still buying off the rack. When the Model J debuted in December 1928, it made 265 horsepower. That may not sound impressive today, but in an era when the average American car struggled to produce 40 horsepower, it was almost unbelievable. It could cruise comfortably above 100 miles per hour, at a time when many roads weren't even paved. Its engine featured dual overhead camshafts, for valves per cylinder, and engineering so advanced that decades later manufacturers were still using the same basic ideas. It wasn't built to beat Cadillac. It wasn't built to beat Packard. It was built with a much simpler goal: to be the finest automobile in the world. And for many people, it was. Owning one wasn't simply expensive. It was a statement. The bare chassis alone cost $8,500. After buyers commissioned custom coach builders to create the body, the final price often climbed beyond $20,000. To put that into perspective, a comfortable American home could cost around $5,000. A Duesenberg could cost the equivalent of 4 or 5 houses. Hollywood stars bought them. Industrialists bought them. European royalty admired them. If wealth had a 4-wheeled symbol, this was it. Then everything changed. October 1929, Wall Street collapsed. Within months, the Great Depression spread across America. Millions lost their jobs. Banks failed. Luxury spending disappeared almost overnight. The world's greatest luxury car suddenly had almost no customers left. It wasn't that people stopped wanting Duesenbergs. They simply couldn't afford them anymore. The company survived only a few more years before the financial empire controlled by E.L. Cord began to collapse. By 1937, Duesenberg was gone. Not because it had built a bad car. Not because another company built something better. But because no engineering masterpiece, no matter how brilliant, could outrun an economic disaster. Here's the part that almost feels cruel. Today, the very cars people couldn't afford during the Depression have become some of the most valuable automobiles ever sold. Model Js routinely sell for millions of dollars. One exceptional example brought more than $20 million at auction. The world eventually realized how extraordinary Duesenberg had been. It just happened about 80 years too late. Sometimes history doesn't reward the people who build the future. Sometimes it simply buries them. But at least Duesenberg died quickly. The next company suffered something far worse. It spent decades watching its reputation slowly disappear, one bad decision at a time. If this is your type of thing, hit subscribe and I will make it worth your time.